going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's your girl, Bex.
And I'm Carly.
And we're here to deliver content to unlock your mindset and actions to be limitless. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And like we always say, ring the bell notification so you can get notified when we're dropping videos just like this.
All right, so this week we are going to be talking about equal pay in sports. And that's in light of a recent announcement which was made on Tuesday, the 31st of August, that the Republic of Ireland women's and men's senior teams agree equal pay with FAI. The men's squad have agreed to reduce their international fees, with the FAI matching their contribution to ensure that the senior women's team match fee is increased and all male and female players receive the same match fee from September international window onwards. And that's for football teams. And then I went on to, which I thought, wow, incredible. I've never heard about this before, but then it turns out they're not the first, which I thought they were. So England already have done it, Brazil, Australia, Norway, and New Zealand. So you had Norway 2017 and New Zealand 2018, Australia in 2019, and Brazil and England in 2020 announcing the same thing. I had no idea that this had happened.
I had no idea it had happened either. It's amazing, and I'm super happy that they've done it. And obviously equal pay is important to attract and keep women within sports as players as well as fans. And the gender gap really is due to the men's sport receiving more media coverage, TV licenses and sponsorship deals, which is generating higher revenue. But one thing that peed me off about this is the fact that men have to decrease their pay in order for them to be matched. Why can't you increase the women's?
Yeah.
You get, like, it's still not really equal, is it? Like,
because no, exactly. Because it comes from an international fee, doesn't it? So if they get a bunch of prize money and then the national sort of body will say, right, this cut is what's going to go to the teams and they keep the rest. So, yeah.
And I understand, like, there's obviously a budget and all the rest of it, but it just still feels like, as much as it's positive, I just see the negative in it as well, is that why has it always got to be decreased, and why can't we be matched? Do you get?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. I mean,
it's still cool.
Yeah, and I was just really surprised. I mean, it's very different depending on the countries, and of course, like New Zealand, they were talking about it's. Though it's it's a step forward, it's not going to be anything to kind of make massive waves for them in terms of like it being an everyday salary for them, because they're just ranked too low. Whereas England is a bit different, so prize money and stuff like that is higher. So I think they were saying that if for England exactly the same in match fees and bonuses since January 2020, which is £1,000 per game. But what I found interesting is the USA, who arguably are the best women's football team in the world, and have been for years, and everyone knows to play soccer for women, and you want to be seen and whatever else, go to the US to do it. And you were in the US for a while, didn't you? You played football out there. Now you would think they would be part of this. No, not at all. But they actually filed a lawsuit against US Soccer in March 2019, but it was dismissed in May 2020 and denied the chance to appeal. And it was an allegation over gender discrimination in earnings and working conditions. And what I found interesting was the men. So if you look at, they got £4 million bonuses for crashing out of the 2014. I think it was the top of the 16s when they had 16 left. And then the women got 1.5 million for winning it in 2015. You won it. And then...
What is it? The new saying? The math ain't mathing.
The math ain't mathing. And then the women, what was it? And then they didn't even qualify. The men's team didn't even qualify. I think it was 2018. Yet they still make more money and they make twice as much. I think in like the match fees or bonuses than the women do. And then that's the biggest team, the biggest footballing nation for women. And the men aren't very good when you compare them to everyone else. Yeah, they've got better, but mate, that's when it's annoying.
And the thing is, yeah, like, you know, people will say women are not as fast, they're not as strong, they can't dunk. They only play 3 sets of tennis and all this type of stuff. But okay, like at the end of the day, there's still an audience though. Because if you show women more, then guess what? You're gonna attract more girls to watch the sport, more interest, more role models. And it's crazy because I even feel like I have a lot of bias towards men's sports because simply that's what we've been but when you unpack it, it's because that's what we've been exposed to. But if you expose more women, then guess what? You're going to have more people that are attracted to that sport.
100%. You know what? And this is what I love now, yeah? So this is what I love about CrossFit. Now, CrossFit in terms of a sport is pretty new sport and it's getting bigger and bigger. What they did is they grew the men and women attention at exactly the same time. So what does that mean? The men and women get exactly the same amount of prize money. So first place this year, they got £310,000 each. There wasn't no men. And arguably in CrossFit, the women are more famous than the men are. 100%. They're more the go-to because they're so, and then when you say, oh, women aren't as strong, women are, mate, go and watch the CrossFit Games and then tell me something. Yeah. They are unreal, mate, and they are getting paid exactly the same because they've both been given the platform and exposure and growth at the same time. And you wonder why. So one of the things it was saying, I was looking at is on the annual global sports salaries survey, this is from 2017 though, the average woman in the FA Women's Super League was making 27k a year, which is 1% of what the males get in the Premier League. Now, I think we touched on this before, not saying, right now, give all the women 100, 200k, but enough that they can have a decent salary that becomes a full-time job. That's just the start. Allow that to be the start of it. And then let's talk about, okay, let's build it up, blah, 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 so that you can get the exposure. But if, like you say, if you don't give them the platform and exposure, then of course it's not going to be watched.
And not just that, think about it. Look at the dreams of the young boys that are looking up to football stars. That's a reality. It can become a reality. You're thinking, raw, I can actually make a full-time career, help my family, help charities and all the rest of it. But girls, on the other hand,
can't do it.
They've got to look up to Instagram models. It's not making no sense.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and it's just very unbalanced, you know? And I don't detract away from the fact that we are still making steps towards
100%.
But it's still a massive gap.
It's huge. And I do love boxing and MMA are another two sports that I will massively applaud because they are making a lot more ground in terms of getting more women up. And Jake Paul, as much as I dislike the guy, he specifically wanted it was a women's fight to be like the next main event because he was like, they deserve this platform. And that's exactly what you need. You need more men like that stepping up to say, no, give them more money. No, this is a co-main event. And MMA, I think, were the first ones to do that with Ronda Rousey. And look how massive she got.
But this is what irritates me again. And it can go back to race and it can go back to gender. Why has it always got to be the man has got to step in for us? Why has it always got to be the white person has got to step in for the black people? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Again, it ain't really making no sense. We can't be our own voice and we can't drive change. Like, why? Because guess what? Everybody that you're fighting for the change for doesn't look like you. It's a board of men. Do you get what I'm saying? It's a board of white people.
Yeah, well, like the board of men situation, I know a friend's company who, oh my goodness, wow. It's the most you've never seen. There's no diversity on it at all. I couldn't believe it. I'm surprised they haven't been exposed as one of the companies. You know, they usually do that. They'll say, oh, this one's only got 2% of this or 2%. It's really bad. There's still a lot to be made, and like they need to be called out and changes. Like we're about to go through a program at work. Well, we're actually trying to see how do we introduce men as allies to support women, because as much as people want to say, oh, but it's not fair, the women's getting the job. No, there's a lot of education that's not there, and they don't realize they are not given the same opportunities, haven't been for years, have always had to fight more than men. But it's an education piece, and it's definitely getting better. And it's nice to see it's going to take these specific teams, people, sports who are going to create that balance, like with martial arts, like with CrossFit, to try and help bring this along. But I think you've got some stats on some other sports as well.
Yeah, so I'll probably be reading a little bit, but so I was just looking at like equal pay in sports in general, not just football. So in March 2017, the USA Hockey reached a deal with players on its women team after they threatened to boycott, which resulted in increased performance bonuses, increased salaries, improved travel accommodation, as well as an advisory group to ensure the growth of girls hockey as well, which I thought was pretty cool. Again, like this was, 2017, some of these may have changed a little bit, but at least like we can see that there are some path to green, kind of maybe. And then we have September 2018, the World Surfing League announced it would award equal prize money to male and female athletes for every World Surfing League controlled event, and it became the first US-based global sports league to achieve prize money equality.
Wow.
That was pretty cool. December 2018, World Tennis Association announced new rules that this one's mad. Wait, I don't know if you know about this. Announced new rules that no longer penalizes women for taking leave for pregnancy or recent childbirth, and they received the same penalty as women who were banned for substance use. Are you mad?
What? Wait. Which sport?
Tennis. That's not the only one.
Oh my God. Because I know Venus and Serena are very vocal in getting the equal prize money and that. And like people going, oh, they only play 3 sets. They want to play more. You're telling them to play 3 sets. Like what? Oh, honestly.
Then May 2019, track and field stars Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, Alison Felix, and Cara Goucher spoke out about the treatment of pregnant women whose endorsements dropped or reduced, which led to Nike changing their stance on endorsing and supporting athletes through pregnancy and motherhood. Mad. What are you like? This was actually blowing my mind. This one is a positive, and I do like this one. So in September 2019, the California governor signed Equal Pay to Play Act. Any organization that hosted men and women competitions on public lands must compensate athletes equally, period.
Wow. And that's the governor of California.
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible.
And then a report from March in 2021, I saw that Steph Curry, and it may have changed a little bit, but it's just a report for 21 March. Steph Curry, who's the highest paid NBA player, makes the equivalent of 350 women NBA salaries. And there's actually only 144 players in the women's national basketball team.
Wait, he gets paid more than LeBron James?
Well, like I said, I'm not 100% sure. This is 2021, so...
But I guess either way, the point is, look at that divide. Wow.
And then I just saw one about golf. So the LPGA versus PGA, and they were putting like stats of when they think that it would be like we've reached equality, and they believe July 28, 2026. And basically, female golfers do earn more than most other women in other sports. However, they're still behind their male counterparts.
Yeah.
So in the 2019-2020 series, women competed at 13 events versus men that competed at 19 events. Women took home 320K as an average salary or prize money versus men that took 2.1 mil.
Not even half, bro.
What? And then because there was some competitions cancelled last year, there was a stat for 2018-2019 tour where they played the same number of matches, 22 or event 20, same number of events, 22.6, I believe it was. 584K average prize for women versus 2.56 mil for men. Make it make sense.
Oh, wow. We've got a long way to go.
So whilst this is a great step in a good direction, there's still so much more to do.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So I thought a good way to end, and I think this is summed up like really well about what we're saying. And this is Sue Bird, who is a two-time Women's National Basketball Association champion and two-time Olympic gold medalist. She said, I think the biggest mistake that people make is the constant comparison to men. Always getting compared like, oh, she couldn't play in the NBA, or she couldn't beat LeBron James one-on-one, or even better, she couldn't even beat me. It's annoying. With those comparisons come the money. We need to keep the focus on the game itself. The NBA is our big brother. They take care of us, and they are one of the major reasons why we have a league. But now we are at a point where we do need to separate a little bit. We don't want to be the little sister that the brother is forced to take with him wherever he goes. So well said. I think that just sums it up completely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great place to end this video. Like we said, there's a long way to go. They're taking positive steps, but the fight continues. I've been your girl, Bex.
And I've been Carly. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode, and we will see you next week.
Peace.